All right, so here we are at Trail's End, also known as the eastern apiary of Blackland Prairie bees. And on top here we have the swarm trap in which I caught some bees earlier this week on Monday. I brought them out here and I've let them adjust to this location. And now I'm going to be moving this hive, putting it down here, and then moving all of the frames from this box into this box. Their entrance will be there, and it'll be like 1.5 feet, 2 foot below where their current entrance is, which is, it induces a little bit of confusion to the bees, but not so much that they can't find their queen and their new home. So there will probably be quite a lot of bees here, because I'm not sure that these are, we'll see their temperament. There's a lot of them flying, but we'll see how affected they are by the move. All right, so first I'm just going to take this box and gently set it down here. And that way, for the time being, the bees can still be coming back to their entrance. I'm going to take this off, and on this hive we had to do a little bit of work to level it, which was undone when I moved it the other night. And so I'm just going to put some wood on the various corners to level and solidify the base for this. All right, now I'm going to take these existing frames, I'm going to move them to the back of the divider board, and unfortunately the feeder frame fell down inside. Got some sort of a capsule for some sort of a bug. I'll get it out of the way. The feeder frame fell down. All right. We've got some beetles in there that will not want to be there for very long. All right, I'm just going to start with the frame that I think I can get out the easiest. And that's going to be this one on the end. There we go. Now, I do not know how long the swarm, how long ago it was that they moved in here. Uh-oh, we got a problem here. So we've got some comb that has fallen down. I'm going to go back and try this one. I hope that we don't have a whole lot of cross combing. All right, here comes the feeder. That will help. Now they're angry with me. That's all right. They'll get over it. Make sure my smoker's still working. I'm going to go ahead now and give them going to refill the sugar syrup. But first I need to find some twigs to float in there to make it easier for them to get out if they fall to the bottom of that So there are 3 chambers to this feeder, and I need to break some appropriately sized twigs to give the bees something to climb on to get out. Okay. Now I think I'll try to smoke them out of the feeder so that I don't drown any while I'm trying to replenish it. When it's got liquid in it, this wouldn't be necessary. By the way, I fed them on Monday. I had the feeder full, and they have completely drained it, using it to draw out comb, I'm sure. All right. All right. They would sure like for me to stop messing with them. All right, so now this is full, and I'm going to lower it back in. All right. So apart from any cross combing we have to deal with, the hard part is done. All right. Keep in mind, oh, they've already got brood. So that greatly reduces any concerns that I would have about that they might try to abscond or find a new home. I'm just taking a quick look for the queen. I don't see her. We're going to put this brood frame towards the back. But then I'm going to give them, right before the feeder, I'm going to give them another empty frame. We'll move everything back, tighten this up. All right, then we'll go to the next frame. A lot of brood there too. Oh no, some brood, some capped honey. Well, that's good. Is that capped honey? I think it is. It's funny, the coloration is kind of in between. Definitely I do see some capped honey on this side. All right, looking for a queen. Don't see her with a quick glance. So here's a look at the frames we're finding. They've probably been in that swarm trap for a little while now. I don't know how to quantify that, but they've done a fair amount of comb building. All right. Next frame. Feels like we may have some cross combing on this one. And we do. Lots of brood on this one. And some eggs. Once again, I don't see the queen. And the issue here is they built the frame on one side of the dowels rather than incorporating the dowels into their comb, and which could have been because of the tilt of the box on the tree. But then they built a little bit of comb right here, trying to start a second layer. I'm just going to remove that. Put this in the same place. All right. Here's where we have some substantial cross combing. And I don't know any remedy for this other than to just pull it out and deal with what we have. All right, so you can see there, we've got one layer of comb, and then they've got another built on the side of it. And I need to choose one side or the other to say that's what we're going to keep, and then cut out the rest, and possibly put it in. I didn't bring my rubber bands out with me. Then I'll try to press the side that we don't decide to keep into the frame. So this one has a lot of nectar and a lot of pollen and some brood, and I think by and large it would be harder to incorporate it into the frame, so I'm going to remove this comb. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Now from this side, I'm going to try to press the parts of the frame, the parts of the comb that have gone to the side, that have twisted out of alignment. I'm going to press them back into alignment there. And then we'll put this back in. All right. And this had some comb and some pollen and some brood. And I hope don't see a bunch of bees clustered down there, so I'm hoping that we did not drop the queen. She's probably in there somewhere. And if not, this colony is certainly strong enough they can requeen. All right, here was some comb from a cutout that I'm going to give these bees. And I'm just going to add these to it by sliding up to the top what I previously cut out. In fact, I may remove those. Pull that aside. It may never stick the same way as it did. I'm going to slide these down. Take these old dirty comb out altogether. I'm going to try to put this one in the same alignment that they had it, except over to the side instead of in the center. Then I'm going to try to mash it down so that it fits over the wire a little bit. That'll help it hold. I'm going to do the same with this one. That was hanging down this way. I'm going to try to mash it down on the wire a little bit. I'm not sure this is going to work so well. No, that's not going to work. So that will be reclaimed for other purposes. And then, where did the other comb go? Did I just drop one into the box? Oh, it fell on the ground. Okay. So this, I no longer even really know which way was up. But this is this type of frame that I would typically be removing as soon as I can anyway. So let me get this other one from down there. And so I'm going to fit it in, take my best guess as to which way was up, because there's a slight inclination to the way they build the frames, or the cells rather. And so anyway, they will either use it or repair it. I believe it's the case that they'll generally use it even if it's downward when it should be upward. We'll just give it to them and they can do the best they can with it. Now this is two balloons, entertainer balloons, tied together just because that's what I had at the time. Normally I would use rubber bands, but they're not out here with me at the moment. All right, so we're going to give them back this comb that they built, plus some comb that some other bees have built. And then I'm going to start to, let's see, should I have this one? This is the last one. This one was the comb that half of that started on. Its original position was at the front. Since I replaced it with that other one, I think I'm going to put it back at the back. Okay, and now there's bees still remaining in this box. Here's the fun stuff. We're going to just dump them in. We want to try get all the bees just in case the queen was still hanging on the side there. There are still some bees in here, but not a queen. All right, now I just put, debris. I wish I hadn't done that the way I did it, because there's debris from the bottom of that hive that filled the feeder. Went to get my bucket to put in it the wax that I want to reclaim, and it was encouraging that the bees didn't follow me over there in anywhere near the numbers that they're orbiting my head here, and that's an encouragement. I'm reclaiming this wax because I can use it to bait other swarm traps. I can also melt it down to coat frames with. And there is this one other frame that was with them when I moved them. I'm going to make some room for it and give it back to them as well. Alright, now I'm going to use the smoker to try to get them to retreat back down onto the frames so that I can close it. Alright, now we've got room for this one. All right, I have them all sealed up. I'm going to move the feeder flush with the frames, and then I'm going to get the divider board. I'm going to move these empty frames on the other side of the divider board. Actually, there's another one that has had some work done on it, so I'm going to give them the benefit of that frame. What I want to do is I want to give them as much already built comb as I have available to give them, because that will just help them get off to a faster start, a stronger start. All right. This can go in there. So now we have almost a full hive full of bees, or full of frames, and that will be good because I don't want to have to be carrying a lot of frames back and forth out here. So they have what they need for a good while. Cover goes back on. Make sure they've got the entrance they need. I'm going to close it down a little bit to make it a little less likely that they'll be robbed. So doing this just allows them to defend it a little better. little wider than that. Okay. All right, we are almost done here. I'm going to look and make sure that we don't have a queen in here. All right, we don't. So I'm going to knock all the bees out of this. And then I'm going to close the entrance. Or not. Those entrance gates have gotten really tight. There we go. Close the entrance. No bees there. And the swarm trap can now be equipped with additional frames, rebaited and hung up again somewhere else. So there we go. The first beehive that trails in. Now you notice those bees clustering at the top. That's probably because they can smell the interior of the hive, and that is closer to where their entrance was 6 inches higher than where their entrance now is 12 inches lower. They'll figure it out eventually, but that's the reason. They really get easily confused by relocation for a while. If I moved a hive completely away, you would have a cluster of bees coming back to this exact location for days or weeks to come. Well, that's all from the eastern apiary of the Blackland Prairie bees, also known as Trail's End. And we'll talk to you all later. Thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, I always forget to encourage you to like and subscribe, but that's mandatory language for YouTube, it seems. So please like and subscribe. Check notifications to get my future videos.